Greetings, citizens of Tetris. It is your old pal Vandweller back with more stupid Tetris Monthly, no next box edition for July 2025. And what we've got for you today is a top 16 bracket, 3 matches, 2 of them top 16. The winners of those will move on to the top 8, and that match will determine a semi-finalist. Let's take a look at our top 16 and show you what matches they're gonna be. The top right-hand corner, that's what we're dealing with today. It's going to be Pixel Andy versus Ghost or Spectral Presence on Twitch. Very creepy. But Pixel Andy versus Ghost. And then Jerpi, former No Next Box world record holder up until this year, versus Cobra. So Andy versus Ghost, Jerpi versus Cobra, and then the winners of those 2 matches will make it into our semifinals. And let's take a look at just where our top 8 situation is. What do we have left to do? Well, yeah, that green, this is going to determine who plays Dylan in the semifinals. So yeah, we're gonna fill all that green part in, and then that blue part, when does that get filled in? That's a good question. Don't you want to know the answer to that? I do. Well, the answer is tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got back-to-back top 16 brackets. Now, yesterday we already did the top 16 match for Gerald. Gerald played the winner of the purple preliminary bracket. That was Chroma, and Chroma had to suffer the indignity of playing 3 no next box matches in a row, but Gerald ultimately was the one who will be moving on. So it's going to be just 2 matches in that top 16 for blue purple. It's going to be Scooty versus Shadow Knight, and the winner versus Gerald. Scooty, Shadow, winner versus Gerald. And that will, after today and tomorrow, that will totally fill out our semifinals for Stupid Tetris Monthly for July. And thank God we will only have one more broadcast of this after that. And then we can turn the page on this dark chapter in CTM history. Also tomorrow, mark your calendars. This is wrong. This is not right. Hold on. Tomorrow is the 6th. I don't know why this says the 7th. This should say the 6th. I'm fixing it right now. And this should say the 7th. All right. Right after that, it's going to be the green and teal top 16 of Tap Masters. That's going to be Joseph Saley versus Oscar, and then Dylan versus Klein. So Joseph Saley, Oscar, Dylan, Klein. That will take place pretty much right after. Well, I don't know. There's going to be a little bit of a gap, probably a half-hour gap, something like that, between that STM top 16 and then this one. That's going to be at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. If you're UTC or west of or east of that, you're going to have to stay up or watch the replay, but that is going to be a fun one. Shouldn't I change the blue text to avoid confusion? Shouldn't I change the blue text? Didn't I change the blue text to avoid confusion? Didn't I do that? I think I did that. Did I not do that? But yeah, that is, it says August 6th. Be more specific, Chen. So that is what is going to happen tomorrow. So this is the whole thing. This is everything that's scheduled right now. The white said August 7th. Well, it is August 7th at 1:30 in the morning. Why would I say it's a different date than what it actually is? All right. Yes, UTC. You're getting it. You're getting it. You're figuring it out. All right. I knew you'd get there. Okay, well, let us proceed. And again, we are going to do this green and teal Pixelandy Goes Jerpi Cobra bracket right now. Let's take a look at our rules, because there are rules, believe it or not. And the rules are that this is a 32-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System on NTSC consoles. Players can play on emulator or console so long as the game mechanics, appearance, and statistics are unmodified. They can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons used or turbo functions, whether electronical or mechanical, biological turbo only. We will be doing level 9 starts all the way through. Next piece preview should be turned off. That is what no next box means. It's kind of a misnomer because the box remains. It's the piece that we will not have. So just to manage that, players, remember when you do the rage quit or the fast quit out of a game where you select start AB, that is most likely going to turn your next box back on for the next game. So do a natural top out for all your games, right? Let the pieces go all the way to the top, and then just hit the start button, and then that you'll be fine. If you do go back to the original, to the root Tetris gym menu, that will also turn your next box back on. So just stay on the level select screen. The other thing is level 9 starts. Of course, you are used to holding down the A button when you start a game because no one starts level 9 or below, right? So you're going to have to resist that urge and just hit the start. Level 9 starts, not level 19. And we will not be using same piece sets for reasons that have been explained several times. And if you do experience tech issues, players, like with your OBS or internet, just keep playing. Do not pause and check in on chat and say, oh, should I keep playing? Don't pause. Just keep playing. I will sort it out. If there are tech issues, I will give you further instructions. Assume all your games count unless I tell you otherwise. And the winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share in a prize pool, which stands at I can't believe it, $1,132.33. Thanks to those of you who have contributed to this prize pool. Very, very generous. We will be paying our top 8 in this tournament, which is great. Very excited to pay the top 8 in this, and this is just a crazy amount to raise for a no next box tournament, but thank you to everybody who has contributed. Really appreciate it. If you want to contribute to this prize pool, you can use the Matcherino command while you're watching live on Twitch or YouTube. That'll bring up some links. The one that says STM or NNB or whatever, that is the one that you click on. It'll take you to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner, Matcherino. Up in the top right-hand corner, there is a button that says log in. And guess what? If you want to log in, you click on that button. You can log in with your existing Twitch or YouTube account. You do not need to make a separate account for Matcherino. Just log in with that. So easy. Once you're in, mustard colored button on the right side says contribute. Click on that. Open up a box. And in that box, you can find a way to contribute to the prize pool. But thanks again to everybody who has done so. If you're watching after the fact and you do want to contribute, go to go.ctm.gg/prize. And remember, this prize pool is 100% funded by you, the fans. No sponsors, no secret billionaire behind the scenes running this whole thing. It's you, the fans. So thank you very much. Okay, that is how to support the players. If you want to support the channel, why would you want to do that, right? Won't things just exist unsupported? Won't they just continue? No. Okay, patreon.com/monthly Tetris is where you can go to make an ongoing pledge of monthly or annual support to keep this channel going, just like these people on the slide have done. Thank you to everybody on this slide. Big ups to Scott Gray, Jay in the Window, K9, Tacky Corporal, Shalby, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Kakit, Mila, and Jason for their extra big level of support. It really, really, really helps. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up our game scene here. We'll adjust the cameras while the players do their final warm-ups, and then we can get started. And amazingly, look at that, Pixel Andy on Stencil. What the heck? I don't even know how to process that. I don't know how to feel about Pixel Andy being on Stencil. I mean, that's just, I'm kind of getting a tear in my eyes a little bit. He's grown up so much. He's now on Stencil. What the heck? Now, players, you'll want to make sure you either keep the next box off or play a garbage game, you know, before your tournament matches start, so you can make sure that next box is turned off. And remember, if you do go back to the Tetris Gym root menu, it will turn your next box back on, just like it did for Andy right here. Okay, although his next box was already on. All right, let's adjust this camera here. And what is Ghost? 18? Ghost is 18. All right, that is good. What's up, Zoltan? How's it going? Is there new stencil? No, it's the same stencil. It's the same stencil. If it's like too much of a hassle, Jerpi, you can just put your capture on there and I can get you to stencil. But if you can do it, that helps save time. What's up, Evesy? Pixel Andy, Zoltan, C-Dubs, Hepta, Teal, Javan T, Sonic, Chen, Araya, Pseudo Canard, Liptron, Athel. All the stars are here. Okay, players, make sure you keep your next boxes off. When you are ready, go to the level select screen and signal that you are ready. Make sure you don't hold down the A button when you're choosing level 9. Otherwise, it'll be 19. We'll have to start all over again. Mino Floof, Lucas, Marktris over on the YouTube, DJ Mr. Borrow, Luis, all the stars are here. Okay, looks like we've got 2 ready players. I say we just get them started right now. Pixel Andy and Ghost top 16. The winner goes to the top 8 in, wait a minute, in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Dobry with the raid party of 3. Just go ahead and start. There you go. There you go. There you go. You can do it. I believe in you. Just no A, just start. Oh my God. Amazing. Can you believe it? It has begun. On the left side of your screen, it is Pixel Andy, who qualified into seed number 2 with a 484,000 average of his best 2 known Xbox games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Pixel Andy's qualifier did have a 500K in it. A 503 was his high score. 464 was the low score. So 500K is rarefied air for no next box. Andy, in virtue of his top 8 seeding, got a 2-round bye. So his first match of this tournament is this one. You get a 2-round bye. You start in the top 16 and everyone else plays into matches against you. Pixel Andy has an overall PB of 11.9 million, which is good for, I don't know, it's like a top 6 scorer. The 14th ranked player in the most recent, no, not the most recent, in the July Premier Poll, the one heading into the month of this tournament. Also, the number 1 rated DAS player on the Premier Poll. You can go to premierpoll.com, Premier with an E at the end, to see the full rankings. Pixel Andy is a 5-time CTM Masters event winner, won for the first time in about 2 years. Like, was it 23 months, something like that? Won a Masters event last month. So he's the reigning Masters event winner. He's also a 6-time DAS Masters winner. And yeah, he's the reigning DAS Masters champion as well. And I'm sure he'll never forget that he also won a Challenger circuit back in March of 2020. He's a 6-time CTWC gold bracket player, finishing as high as 2nd in 2020, and followed that up the next 2 years with semifinals appearances, back-to-back winner of the Waco Regionals in 2023, 4th in Jonas Cup last year. And by the way, Pixel Andy was also in the semifinals of the Stupid Tetris Championship, whatever you want to call it, in 2020. Our multi-mode annual version of it. We'll just call those the Stupid Tetris Championship, and the monthlies the Stupid Tetris Monthly. I think that's what I should do. But anyway, Andy was in the top 4, made the semifinals of our first Stupid Tetris event back in 2020. Tetris for Andy, 88,000, 58,000 for Ghost. On the right side, it is Ghost, who qualified in with a 332,000 average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Ghost representing Malaysia. And he had to play starting all the way back in round 1, got no buys, defeated Hepta in round 1 and Zack Attack in round 2. And I believe this is Ghost's like competitive debut. So somehow all these fun Tetris tournaments were not enough to lure him in. And now Ghost says, oh, Stupid Tetris Monthly? Yeah, I got to play that. So, you know, Ghost among a handful of players sort of making their competitive debuts or who very rarely compete, but coming back for STM. So that is a fun phenomenon for sure. 115 for Pixel Andy, 85,000 for Ghost. We do start this tournament on level 9. No next box. Really is challenging to play on the normal starting speeds for professional level tournaments, you know, level 18, level 19. And it would not really be that fun of an event. Back in the original STMs when you could select one of like a dozen modes. I think for the Masters level, we actually played no next box on level 15, which did not allow for a lot of play. Obviously, it was faster, but it did not allow for a lot of play and for like, you know, deep games. So level 9 does allow for, you know, pretty high scoring, pretty exciting games to the extent that, you know, level 9 speed can be exciting. Tetris here for Andy, 152. So the first transition is going to be level 10. The speed will increase at that point. And a good transition at level 10, a good transition score is like 200,000 or more so far in this tournament. That's pretty good. If you get, you know, 220, 230, 240, that is, you know, an excellent transition. So Andy right now, 152 through 64. So he's pacing right now. 114 for Ghost. He's got a gap in the stack that he is going to have to deal with, but he's going to try not to plug up that Tetris well on the right side. The first no Nextbox side event at CTWC was 18. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's a farce. right? It is totally a farce, and it's too fast, and I don't think it allows a real skill advantage to sort of express itself. But I think the lower starting level does do that. And despite the name Stupid Tetris Monthly, we are trying to have a real battle and test of Tetris skills. Is the stream skipping or is it my internet? I haven't lost any frames, so it might be you. But I think other people would be saying it in chat if it were you, Colby. 142 for Ghost, 190 for Pixel Andy. There's a Tetris Ghost 154. So Ghost 10 lines ahead and about 36,000 points behind. Now Tetris is on level 9, are worth 12,000 points. So that'll give you a sense of how far apart these players are. Of course, they go up 1,200 points every level increase. Every time the color changes, then the value of all the line clears go up. Tetris for Pixel Andy, 226 through 93. Tetris goes 178. One line to go until level 10. So Ghost is into level 10 at 179. Pixel Andy has one more Tetris available before level 10. And Ghost board getting up a little bit high. So you can see, you know, he barely had time to get that long bar over. And of course, when you've got to like consciously sort of recognize the piece in the moment and then decide on its placement, you're going to be slower than normal. And you can see the, oh, line spin for Ghost. All right, so he's trying to redeem himself here. But you can see, you know, the pieces are dropping 5, 6, 7 rows before the player really, you know, recognizes and commits to a placement. 244 for Andy on level 10. So this is a very, very good transition for Pixel Andy. A perfect 9 to 10 transition would be about 301,000 points. So he's captured a lot of that. All right, so Andy having to knock this board down. That's going to leave him with a T-spin setup and a long bar dependency. He gets the bar and the T-spin. 249 for him. He's on level 11, where Tetrises are worth 14,400. Now Ghost 5 lines away from the next speed increase, which is level 13, which is the same speed as level 15 for all you 15 enjoyers out there. And so right now, if we're going 36 miles an hour soon, we're going to be going 45 miles an hour. Oh my God. That's like, it's like breaking the law in a thickly settled district. You know, be careful, school zone. 237 for Ghost, 270 for Pixel Andy, and Pixel Andy's board starting to complicate a bit. And he's going to want to bring this down, and he's just one line away from level 13, and he's into level 13 now. $274, Ghost at 242, 6 lines ahead, so Ghost has closed the gap quite a bit, and Andy's board has got a spire that is especially challenging because you've really got to make a quick decision and commit left or right with that piece. So Andy trying to keep this Tetris well open. And the long bar gets over Tetris for Andy, and more, almost as important as the score you get is knocking this board back down 4 rows. And Ghost is going to top out at 243, and Andy will take game number 1. All right, so Andy with that dirty Tetris. And he's going to top out with the win there. Ghost doing a little bit of warm up here in the on deck circle, kind of swinging with a weighted bat on level 18. How about them socks indeed, C-dubs? Colby, I am one of the few people who was advocating for the Red Sox to stand pat at the trade deadline, not touch the Major League roster, and I will be vindicated. And I was happy with their trade deadline. That is pretty much exactly what I wanted. You don't want to destroy the chemistry of the team, right? Imagine they had traded Abreu or Duran. It's insane. Okay, looks like both players are ready. I feel like we've both naturally topped out. So let us get game number 2 underway. Pixel Andy up 1-0 in this best of 5. Cobra says, people watch baseball? Yeah, baseball is, to me, it's the most fun. I'm really to the point where I can't watch football anymore because I just I enjoy, in a vacuum, I enjoy the sport of football. I love watching it. But if you really want to follow it, it seems like it's this huge commitment. Now, baseball is too, but there are sort of hacks to follow it. But the more important thing is I just think of the players on the field are, they're basically destroying their brain every time they take a snap. And it's just kind of I don't like it. Same reason I don't like boxing. In a vacuum, I could enjoy a match or a game, but baseball doesn't seem like people are doing that. They're just ruining their arms and legs. Who cares about that? So I pretty much don't follow football too much anymore. 152 for Ghost, 117 for Pixel Andy. The pitch clock made baseball so much more watchable. Yeah, I agree. I am not in favor of all the changes that have been made, but I do like the pitch clock. 28,000 here for Ghost, 41,000 for Pixel Andy. Tetris for Andy, 53,000. They're one line apart and one Tetris apart. And, a great way to follow baseball is to, the MLB YouTube posts a condensed game, which is the entire game compressed into 10 minutes and all the significant moments and context into 10 minutes. And just watch that for every game. And then once a week, watch a game or listen on the radio. I love to listen to the game on the radio while I'm working or reading, actually. If I'm just kind of casually reading stuff, have the radio on. When it's a commercial, you read. When it's the slow moments, you read. And then when something happens, you kind of tune in. So it's a great, enjoyable evening. You just spend an evening reading and listening to baseball. It's great. 79,000 Pixel Andy, 89,000 for Ghost. Oh, I don't think the bigger bases is silly. I think they should do a runner's base like they do in softball on on first base. Like they have one that's for the fielder and one that's for the runner. I think it's great for safety. I don't agree with the changes to the shift, right? I don't like that. I think shift is good. It's the big one that I don't like. Tetris for Ghost 103, Andy also at 103. The runner at second in extra innings. Yeah, I don't mind that. And that's not in place for the playoffs, is it? Like, I think for regular season, it's fine. Playoffs, I don't like. I don't remember if that's in place for the playoffs. 115 for Ghost, 116 for Pixel Andy. Yeah, no extra runner in the playoffs. If you wanted to change that rule, having that ghost runner on second base in the extra innings, you could make, the 10th inning be a natural inning, right? No ghost runner. 11th inning, have a runner on first, and then after that, a runner on second for all subsequent innings. So you could sort of get into it gradually. 129 for Ghost, 140 for Pixel Andy. What do I think of the pitch clock? I think the pitch clock is great. And there should be ball and strike challenges, which I think are going to happen next year or the year after. 141 for Pixel Andy, 141 for Ghost. So same score. Ghost ahead by 5 lines. I think there could be a in the playoffs. It could be a case made to not have a pitch clock in the playoffs, in late innings or with runners on base or something like that. Extremely high value situations, right? But I don't mind it even in that time. 167 for Pixel Andy, 166 for Ghost. All right, so Ghost here may be trying to set up for a dirty. Let's see if he'll take the triple if it comes. No, he's going for the dirty. Knocks it down a little bit. Reestablishes that center well. Now waiting on a well-timed bar, or an ill-timed bar would be good. He's really having to do a lot of burning in this center well. That's why I think, center well so much more difficult in this and so much more wasteful in this because, maintaining 2 different stacks is hard enough, but having to do it with no idea what the next piece is going to be, I think that's way more challenging. 184 for Ghost, 204 for Pixel Andy. So Pixel Andy, going to be a little conservative here and put pieces over on the right side rather than spiring. Spiring, very difficult to deal with as well. It shortens your reaction times, forces you to gamble. T-spin set up for Ghost. He doesn't like having to set up for that. All right, so that long bar is going to clean up a lot of this stack here. He's into level 10 at 188. Anyway, I didn't mean to turn this into a Chris Bidwell stream. We're all talking about baseball, so. 189 for Ghost. 219 for Pixel Andy. He's into level 10 at 222, so a decent transition again for Pixel Andy. All right, Ghost going to take the Tetris, not fill in the middle. I don't mind. Low stack is almost more important than perfect stack. Unless you're way behind it, then you have to gamble. But Ghost still within striking distance here. 206 for Ghost. All right, that T is a great piece to tuck in there. He's now set up for a Tetris again. Has to knock it back down. 238 for Pixel 211 for Ghost. Tetris for Pixelandy 256 on level 12. So the level 13 transition looms. That will be a 13 is 25% faster. Or it's a 25% increase in speed for these pieces. All right, Ghost is in 246, 261 for Pixelandy. Pixelandy with a great board right now, just waiting on a bar. All right, takes a nice double to keep this low, gets a Tetris 282. All right, Ghost here trying to avoid going all in. He's back by 30,000. That's about 2 Tetrises here. And Ghost board getting up pretty high here, so he's just kind of blind guesses here. And that is going to be a top out for Ghost at 253. Pixelandy is good in game number 2. All right, I think Andy wants to play a little bit on 18. Good board. And bar gets over. 2 lines to go until 16 speed. All right, into level 16 with a 346. And that is probably, well, he gets a bar over. All right, he's still going. Oh, that right side. Oh, he just, yeah, see, you got to just fling the piece over. You don't even know what it is. All right. All right, so as soon as Andy is on the level select screen with a ready, we will begin game number 3. All right, and there he is. Looks like both players are ready. Andy is up 2-0. Ghost has got to win this one to continue on in this tournament and in this match. So let us get them underway. Now, after this, we're going to have a match between Jerpi and Cobra. Jerpi, the former world record holder for score in this category, held that record for 4 years until Dog broke it this month, and I don't know when Gerald's unrecorded 600K happened either, but it's kind of an unofficial record. All right, so Andy finally gets a bar down. Tetris number 2. Ghost gets Tetris number 2 as well. Ooh, Ghost kind of the decision there works out. He's going to get that L piece to the left. Going to set up column 9 that's fairly aggressive. All right, he's taking the burns. This is going to keep that well blocked, though. And now he's got to unblock. Okay, so he's open on the right for a Tetris if he can get a bar and not block the well. And he's going to pull back that S piece. And the long bar gets over for the Tetris. So he should be able to knock this back down. He's got a channel open on the right side for a bar. It's going to be good only for a double. And that will not even give him a Tetris well platform because he's still got that weird overhang. So he's going to have to burn this down a little bit more. 42,000 for Ghost, 52,000 for Andy. Andy gets a long bar. All right, so Ghost board back under control. Just a few burns here to... Is he going to set up? No, he's not going to set up. He's not going to just try to save that one last burn. He's going to burn it all down, transfer it back to the right side. You know, it's center well very alluring because you think, oh, isn't the big challenge trying to get pieces left and right? And so you can just imagine, you know, I'm high in the left, I'm high in the right. I can keep going down the middle forever without any big, gambles or decisions I have to make. And it hasn't been really working out that way too much in this tournament. You know, maybe somebody can make good use of the center well, but I think it's the same kind of thing in regular Tetris, right? The allure of it is that, I never am really forced to, wing a piece over to the left side or the right side. I'm not going to hang a bar and block my well. It's always there, but it just seems too inefficient. $84,000 for Ghost, 105 for Pixel Andy. Tetris Andy 130 through 57, 97,000 for Ghost. So about a 33,000 point lead, just under 3 Tetrises. They're worth 12,000. $122 for Ghost, $154 for Pixel Andy. Another Tetris Andy, 167 through 70. Ghost back by 45,000 points. There's a Tetris Ghost, 134. All right, Ghost gonna change his mind here. Place that long bar flat over to the left. All right, could use an S in the middle. Of course, gets a Z. Now he's LJ dependent here. So he's going to fill in. That's going to create a couple of L and J holes there, but he gets a Tetris and knock it down. And this could clear away with the right pieces fairly efficiently. But no, he's going to have to keep piling on those gaps here. 159 for Ghost, 184 for Pixel Andy. Tetris Andy 196. All right, there's a Tetris Ghost. He's one line away from that level 10 transition. Andy now 3 lines away from that level 10. His board a bit jagged here, so he's going to have to find a way to flatten it out, which he's doing. And the bar comes in. Tetris for Andy. He's into level 10 at 233. Tetris Andy 247. Tetris goes 192. Andy Tetris is into level 11. The next speed transition at 13. Goes here at 193, back by almost 70,000 points. And Andy just so consistent. Tetris Andy 290 to 11 Ghost. So another Tetris for Andy 306 on level 12 is pretty good pace. All right, Andy's board starting to complicate and get dependent, but gets a long bar, dirty Tetris 322 for him. Now over 100,000 point lead for Andy. Split double there for Ghost into level 13. Andy into level 13 at 339, so still a 100,000 point lead. Paldas Tetris, thanks for the raid, party of 4. By the way, Real Bland, I missed your tier 1 resub. Thank you so much, Real Bland. And T.O., your sub as well. It's like both players are kind of in a top. Well, Andy, you know, he gets a bar over for a Tetris. Might be able to keep playing here and work this down. Ghost here scrambling, struggling, gambling, and topping out. So Ghost will top out at 226. And Andy is going to take this one in a sweep and will be moving on to the top 8. So GG's Pixel Andy and GG's Ghost. You had a great run, based at almost a totally unknown player coming in and getting to the top 16. playing 2 rounds. So congratulations to you, and you know, good to make your acquaintance, and we hope to have you back for more events. So let me go ahead and report this match. Andy 3-0. The next one is going to be Jerpi versus Cobra. So I'm going to go ahead and run a quick ad on our little places here. Where's our place? Man, how do you run an ad? Oh, right there. Okay. And then you click this thing. Go live. Oh, I guess I'm not looking at the thing. Go live. All right. Next is going to be, what are we doing? Jerpi, who is seed 7 and 10. All right. 7 and 10 are the seeds. So goodbye 2, hello 7, and goodbye 18, and hello 10. All right, let me adjust the cams and get all this worked out. I'm going to flip Jerpi, actually. I hope you don't mind that I flip you. All right, flip. It just lines up better for the camera. There you go. Hello. Okay. And then Cobbers. Cobra on the stretch cam plan. I like it. 10. Well, let me let's see. Cobra. If you get all the borders around Cobra's camera and then make it 60. Oh, there's a cat. Hello. Hi. Then you stretch it across the whole thing. Oops. And it should be the right. There you go. And I gotta flip Cobra. All right. Do I have to flip you? I'm flipping you. Everyone's getting flipped. All right, this is what we got. We're gonna do it. So, oh, let me reset the thing. Scores, there they are. Now, players, remember, you know, make sure your next box stays off by topping out naturally rather than rage quitting out of the game. You know, quick quitting, whatever. And remember not to hold down A when you select your level, okay? And yeah, just to give you one more time, the world record history of this mode. Here it is. Jerpi was the former world record holder. First player to get a 500K in this mode and held that record for 4 years until Dog broke it this month or last month, basically heading into this tournament July 1st. So Jerpi got the record, improved the record, and I think no one has really grinded this record, so which is why it stood for so long. And let me just fix Cobra game here. Let me fix him game. All right. because him game. Okay, that'll do. Good enough. Good enough. All right, players, I am ready. So when you are ready with your warm-ups and all done, all that, make sure to naturally top out. I got to keep my eye on that like a hawk. But I got so many things to keep track of that it's a challenge. Okay, looks like both players are ready. Cobra says good luck. I'm sure Jerpi is saying good luck and feels good. All right, let's go ahead and get this underway. Jerpi and Cobra, top 16 Teal bracket. The winner goes to the top 8 to face Pixel Andy for a spot in the top 4. 3-2-1 Tetris. On the left side of your screen, it is Jerpi. Jerpi qualified into this tournament with a 424,000 average of her best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. She had a 433 and a 415 to make up that average. Jerpi, in virtue of her top 8 seeding, got a 2-round bye, so did not have to play in this tournament until this very moment, so it gets to start in the top 16. I think Jerpi's got I think this is correct, has an overall PB of 1.488, you know, in regular Tetris. And I think Jerpi has the tap world record. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Does Jerpi have the tap world? No. Or one time had the tap world record. No. That can't be true. Is that true? No. Is that true? Why does it say that here? I got to fire the intern. Anyway, Jerpi has been 3 times in Mega Masters, was top 4. Yeah, who wrote this? I don't know. I got to fire my intern. Has the tap world record in no next box. Maybe that's what they meant. Okay. But anyway, Jerpi played in the Stupid Tetris Championship in 2021 and finished in the semifinals. That was a multi-mode championship. And Jerpi finished in the semifinals. That was the year that Scott Obozo won. Jerpi also a 6-time CTWC gold bracket player. And I think she'll never forget probably the pinnacle of her Tetris career, winning Classic Tetris Brawl in September 2021. Jerpi also was a fixture in CTM, the monthlies, 2020, 2021, finished as high as the top 8 back then. And is now going for glory in the category that she was really built for, I think. This no next box category, world record holder. So it's great to see her back in this event. On the right side of your screen, it is Cobra. Cobra, 52,000, 79,000 for Jerpi, by the way. Cobra qualified in with a 382,000. And that was a 412 and a 351 were the 2 component scores of that. Cobra defeated Somalian Captain in round 2 to make it here to this top 16. He got a 1-round bye, in virtue of his top 16 seeding. Cobra has an overall PB of 4.66 million. That's a top 20 score. Was ranked 12th in the open rankings heading into this tournament for the Premier Poll. Go to premierpoll.com for the full rankings. Cobra had his best run in Classic Tetris Monthly, the monthlies, in May. Made it into the top 8. He's also a 3-time Mega Master, getting as high as the top 16, which he did this year. Was in Lone Star semifinals. The last time we had that, 2024. Won a Challenger Circuit, the last Challenger Circuit in November. And was top 8 in CTWC this year, and won the Boston Regional. So it's kind of the year of Cobra. 142 for Jerpi, 81,000 for Cobra. And Cobra up high on this board right now. 166 for Jerpi, 84,000 for Cobra. So Cobra really just mostly guesswork here. And this is a very, very challenging board, and he's gonna need to gamble on a bar going to the right, and he's not gonna do it. Cobra gonna top out 86,000. Jerpi, you are good without even getting to level 10. So you are good. All right, players, when you are ready, just get back to level select screen without hitting the select button. Okay, looks like both players are ready. Both players are on Tetris. We're getting both players started in game number 2. Jerpi up 1 game to none. Jerpi is featured in the video that you should probably watch on YouTube. Tristop just came out with a guide to rolling, really an epic and a very complete guide to rolling. So Jerpi in that video, because she has an entire grip named after her. Like, it's not many people that have a grip named after them, but Jerpi's rolling grip is notable and different. So she gets an entire grip category all to herself. So I recommend checking out that. That's Tristop's video. Just look up Tristop rolling. It'll probably come up. And Tristop did a really good job with that video. So I recommend everybody watching it. Even if you have no interest in taking up rolling, it'll expand your knowledge of classic Tetris overall. 24,000 for Cobra, 37,000 for Jerpi. Teal watching Tetris with a kitten. Apparently the kitten likes to watch Tetris. That's nice. I didn't know it was Andy's birthday. Is that true? Is it Andy's birthday? Well, that's according to Bland anyway. Yesterday? Oh, what's up, Justin? How's it going? Justin, I still haven't heard back from that customer support. So I think we got to go a different route. 60,000 for Cobra. 74,000 for Jerpi. All right, so Jerpi not setting up any dependencies. You could have seen that she could have put that long bar into column 9, create a little dependency, but avoiding that and keeping a good burn chamber over on that right. It's flexible, balances, safety and scoring, so I like it. Nice delayed burn combo here for Jerpi to keep that right side open. Going to chop it down with a double 79,000. Cobra in the lead, though, at 85,000. Gets a Tetris, 97. And also backed by, 5 or 6 lines. So this is a no next box tournament for those just tuning in. The players cannot see the next piece. That is why they are playing on level 9. It is a best of 5. The first player to 3 wins in the match is the winner of the match. Tetris for Jerpi, 97,000. 121 for Cobra. The First speed increase kicks in at level 10. And that happens at 100 lines. There's 100 lines of level 19, if you can endure it. All right, long bar over Tetris Cobra, which is good because his board not flat, so you love getting that Tetris. You can bring the board back down. And Cobra waiting on a J piece. And now he's kind of in a delayed burn pattern. All right, he's going to repolarize, I guess, that dependency to an L dependency. And now it's a long bar dependency. And so really just cannot get a well-timed piece that he needs. Tetris for Jerpi, 159, 147 for Cobra. What's up, Joseph? In the chat, Joseph will be playing in Tap Masters tomorrow night. 149 for Cobra. You're not going to want to miss that. Be taking on Oscar. And the winner of the Oscar Joseph match will take on the winner of the other one. What is it? Dylan and... Yeah, Dylan and Klein. So obviously, you know, any of those matchups going to be really good, but imagine a Joseph, if it goes this way, and they are the higher seeded players in the bracket, Joseph versus Dylan in a hyper tapping battle. That is a possible match combo. Of course, we're excited for anyone who gets through. Tetris for Cobra, 177. Jerpi into level 10. This is our first level 10 of the match. And Cobra's still 20 lines away from level 10. So you can see Cobra right, and there, yeah, there's like a 20 to 25 line difference because Jerpi is pushing down. Cobra not pushing down nearly as often. So pace-wise, you know, Tetris, you know, they're 25 lines. Tetris is worth, you know, 12, 13,000. Cobra might have the pace lead right now. Of course, these unrealized points don't count. Pace points, no good. Real points, good. There's a Tetris Cobra 214. Jerpi just about to hit level 12. She's into level 12. Now 8 lines to go. Now 4 lines to go until a speed increase. Level 13. Right now, if we're going 36 miles an hour, soon we'll be speeding at 45 miles an hour. So hopefully we're not in any residential neighborhoods. And there we go. Jerpi into 13 at 284. Cobra into 10 at 230. So the next speed increase after 13 will be level 16. That's the same speed as level 18. Tetris Cobra 246 into 11. Okay, Jerpi, beautiful S piece for the middle of the board. Another S piece, a T piece for the left. These are great pieces for the left, but she really wants the ultimate piece for the right to get that Tetris. She's got burns you can take, though, and there is the bar for the Tetris. 322 for Jerpi, 244 for Cobra. Needs a long bar for the left side, gets it, and uncovers the well on the right. And he's now waiting on another bar for a Tetris. And there it is. Tetris for both. 342 for Jerpi. Jerpi's on 15, 10 lines until level 16. Joseph says, level 13 looks so fast. I know. When you're watching this and you realize there's no next box, it looks hella fast, as people said 20 years ago. 361 for Jerpi. 279 Cobra. He's going to set up long bar into column 7 to get Tetris ready. And he's 2 lines away from 13. Jerpi board a little bit ragged and jagged, so she's going to try. Oh, she's open on the right side and might be selling out a little bit. Okay, but the bar comes. The gamble kind of pays off. 386 for Jerpi now on 16. This is 18 speed. Cobra is into 13. He's at 296. He's 90,000 points behind. Tetris is for Cobra on 13, 16,800. Cobra fixes the middle of the board with the long bar, skims the cover off the well with the T. Tetris for Cobra, 337, 60,000 points behind Jerpi, who's kind of fighting here on 17 to add any points she can. He's going to try to go dirty well here, but it's not quite going to work out. It's just too fast to, even for a dirty well, to really reliably set up for anything, but she's going to try. 401 for Jerpi. Cobra at 375. There's another line for Jerpi. Cobra's left side. Okay, he's going to get the J over. Jerpi trying to squeeze out any extra points she can. She's 1 line away from 19 and is probably not going to get there. So that is a 404. The target for Cobra is 405. Tetris is on 15, worth 19,200. So a Tetris and change. There's a Tetris. He's into 18 speed now at level 16. And a double is 1,700. A triple would do it now. If he can get a bar over for the triple. Oh no. This stack is totally sold out. Can he get something over? And no, he's not going to get it. And Jerpi will hang on and survive. So level 16 is going to rob Cobra of a win here. He was set up for a triple the entire time. The triple is worth, on 16, it's worth 5,000 points, so the triple would have done it. And he's just not able to do it. So Jerpi hangs on by her fingernails and will take game number 2 and go up 2 games to none. So a 400K battle for both of these players into 16 speed. Jerpi up 2 games to none, the former No Next Box world record holder and the current tap world record holder for No Next Box as well. Oh, my word. All right, looks like both players are ready for the next game. Game number 3. Jerpi would love to win this right now. Cobra needs to win to stay in. And now here we are with level 9. And, when you just think that there's no next box, level 9 still, when you're playing normal and you've got the next box, level 9, painfully slow. But when you realize, you watch after a while that they don't have the next box, and you watch how ineffectual play beyond level 9 is, level 9 looks kind of fast now. And you can see now why we do not start on level 18 or even level 15. Level 10 start is defensible. We could do a level 10 start. But I'm going to keep it 9 just for the consistency of the tournament rules. But I will say players are doing better than I expected them to do. 10 is the same as 12, yeah. So we could do level 12 starts. Yeah, you're right. 10 is the same as 12. Higher scoring potential. Okay, we are underway in game number 3. And who knew level 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 could be so heart-pounding? Tetris Jerpi 61,000. There's one Cobra 53,000. And Jerpi pushing down more in that other game than Cobra did. And, Jerpi trying to double spin tuck that S into place, but that's not going to work out. So she's going to knock this down. But, maybe being so far ahead, even not, with not a good pace, maybe that's an advantage. It was an advantage in normal Tetris play, competitive, for the longest time, to just be ahead of your opponent. Then, even if you didn't have quite as good a pace, to be ahead so that when you top out, your opponent is forced into that chase down. And then chase down nerves were a thing. And I think that's less of a thing nowadays. In fact, a lot of players like playing from behind so they know exactly what they need to get. But I don't know. I think chase down nerves in an unfamiliar mode, those return. Tetris for Jerpi, 93,000, 80,000 for Cobra. Cobra 104 through 48, 96,000 for Jerpi through 53. So yeah, make sure you join us tomorrow. We got 2 streams tomorrow, 6 p.m. U.S. Central Time. It's going to be this No Next Box tournament top 16. It's going to be Scooty versus Shadow Knight, and the winner takes on Gerald for our final semifinal spot. Scooty, Shadow, winner versus Gerald. And then after that, it's going to be Tap Masters top 16. It'll be Joseph Saley versus Oscar. And then Dylan versus Klein. Then the 2 winners face off for a semifinal spot in the Tap Masters tournament. That's at 8:30 U.S. Central Time. Tetris Jerpi 136. 120 for Cobra. Jerpi set up on the left well and has a burn there with the Z. He's trying to, he's going to have to put something over all the way at the extreme right. All right, getting droughted, but she's going to stay on that left well and actually set up for another one. So she could have taken the burn. It's going to pay off, and she gets a couple Tetrises out of it, 162. She's going to transfer that well back over to the right side where it belongs. Javan T whipping out his trouts for the drought. 149 for Cobra, 164 for Jerpi. Jerpi ahead by, 11 lines? So again, ahead in lines. Jerpi 10 lines away from level 10. Tetris Cobra 173. Oh, that overhang for Jerpi. Now she's got it all in, gets a long bar over. So lucky for Jerpi. She's still open on that right. All right, she's going to chop this down with a double. She keeps it open, and now she's going to sort of commit to the burns here. And opens up that right side. Good board into 10. She's got burns now. And she's going to take some of those burns. All right, she's got burns again. So 181 for Jerpi, level 10. And long bar over Tetris, Jerpi 194, 197 for Cobra. He's 4 lines away from level 10. And Tetris, Jerpi, see, she was cheating those pieces over to the left, but when it's the bar, she's like, all right, got to rip it back over to the right. Oh, beautiful. Long bar for Jerpi. Well timed. So 211 Cobra, he's 14 lines behind and 1,000 points ahead in score. Jerpi into level 12. All right, taking some good, smart burns here. Jerpi, good board now. All right, there's a skim for Jerpi. There's a double. There's a Tetris. Jerpi, 235. 239, Cobra. Cobra, he's going to put that long bar into column 9. And another bar for the Tetris, 254, Cobra. On the green level, Tetris is worth 14,400. Jerpi now into level 13. Tetris Cobra 284. The nice triple Jerpi to bring this down. Ill-timed bar there with a block well. Can't do anything with it. All right, Jerpi going to need something for the left. This is getting challenging here on level 14. Okay, she finds a burn here. Cobra with a great board right now. 316 on 13 now. All right, Jerpi's board. All kinds of jaggedy, all kinds of weird S's showing up. I mean, this is just S-Fest. Where are all these S's? Oh, though she guesses perfectly with that bar. Oh, and another great guess. So she's able to bring this down 273. She's into level 16, though. It's going to be really challenging. Cobra at 352 on 14. Jerpi bringing this down. What a down stack. This is actually a crazy down stack that we are witnessing. She's going to have to set up for some Tetrises here, though. They're worth north of 20,000. She's going to need to get some. That was an absolutely crazy down stack. It might be the down stack of the tournament so far for Jerpi. It's a lot of luck and a lot of guessing, but also knowing what to do when you get the luck. So she got one Tetris, 303 for her, 392 for Cobra, trying to get everything he can before hitting level 16. That board climbing for Jerpi. And Jerpi still fighting here. That is going to be a top out for Jerpi at 305 Cobra. If you want to mullin this out, you can. This is a huge pace for Cobra. So GG's Jerpi. Cobra, you are safe, so you can feel free to aggro mullin it out for stats or whatever you want to do. There are no stats. All right, Cobra waiting on a bar. This drought kind of killing everything right here. This is a real drought. I mean, you'd have trouble. All right, that is going to be a top out, but game number 3. Just give me a moment, everybody. Be right back. 30 seconds. Okay, thanks everybody for indulging me. I am back. Appreciate that. All right, looks like both players are ready for game number 4. Cobra needs to win this one to force a deciding game number 5. And we are underway. No next box is showing. That is perfect. Thanks everybody on YouTube for hanging out. Tetris for Mario, Luis, Ravioli, Christopher W, Mr. Burrow, Mark Driss, Kevin A, Zoltan. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Oh, Twitch, we've got people. Chen is here. Cobra's here. Cobra's here. Can you believe Cobra's here? And Jerpi. They're both in the chat. Wow. Thank God. Cole is here. Nichero. JDMFX. Trisky. Sky. Pixel Andy. Trying to scope out the competition here. He will be playing the winner of this match. Kat Kunoichi is here. Vicious Rhubarb. Gravel. 125 people on Twitch watching people play level 9. This is totally some crazy alchemy. You can go, oh, we've turned level 9 into Twitch gold. Tetris for Jerpi, 38,000. All right, Cobra in a little bit of a pickle here. Oh, that's going to be a great J piece for him. Nichero says it's interesting to see the huge difference it makes having no next box. Yes, it does. It is it is interesting. Thank God. Thank God it is. Okay, 41,000 Cobra, 52,000 Jerpi. There's another Tetris Cobra. All right, so Cobra with some good survival. His board was really messed up, and I was a little bit worried for him, but my worry was misplaced. Tetris Jerpi, 77,000, 53,000 Cobra. He's going to fill in with the long bar. Oh, and he's kind of trying to go as few burns as possible. He had a couple opportunities to get set up, but also take a burn, and didn't. So he's trying to pace. Tetris Cobra, 67,000, 90,000 Cobra. Oh, no perfect clear. Rip. Have we had a perfect clear no next box in this tournament? I don't think so. Oh, if you want to see if you're as good as I am at no next box, one thing you can try is level 19 start and try to score a Tetris. It is something I did years ago. Rory was there. Rory can attest to it. But I did that. It was total guesswork. It was like I could never replicate it. But it is not easy. Cobra setting up a Vitz. No vid, no did. Well, Rory was there. And Rory doesn't like me that much, so if he attests to it, you know it happened. $103 for Cobra, $140 for Jerpi. Tetris Cobra, $115. All right, so you got a spin tuck set up there, and it's going to get the spin tuck, so that's going to clean up that board very quickly. Tetris Cobra, 128 through 60, 142 for Jerpi through 67. All right, blocked well. And she is going to need a little bit of luck here. Long bar gets over nice. Vicious rhubarb, yes. Create a fake feud with somebody who can attest to all your accomplishments. That's my strategy. Jerpi in a pickle. Oh, there's some extra points. And that is going to be a top out for Jerpi. And Cobra, you are good, and you have tied it up. We're going to a decider, so those of you who can't get enough, there's more. There it is, decider time. LOZ Cards fan, decider time. So our former world record holder and our young upstart Cobra, they're probably only a couple years apart, but yeah, they will be playing a decider to see who goes to the top 8 to take on Pixel Andy. There it is. There's the decider. It's whoops. It's All right. Put it down there. My dad just knocked on my door, asked what was taking so long. Yeah, or level 9. Oh, rip. All right, this is it. One of these players is going home. Well, they're already both home. So one of these players is not playing this stupid mode anymore. Jerpi versus Cobra. Decider time. The winner goes to the top 8 to face Pixelandy 3-2-1 Tetris. Yeah, these matches take just about as long as a regular Masters match, right? So you are not cheated for content, at least in terms of sheer quantity. Maybe quality. But yeah, these broadcasts are almost exactly as long as the equivalent Masters broadcasts, which you wouldn't think, right? I thought that players are going to be much worse than they are, but they're rising to the occasion. They are very good at this. Maybe next year we'll start on level 12. But, you know, next time we do STM, I think it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be, I guess, September. It's going to be a fast mode. We're going to start, it's going to be some sort of level 18 start mode. I think it's going to be no drought. It's going to be no bars, I think. That was what I wanted to do, and people seem to be into it. And of course, that does mean that if you start on 18, your level 19 transition is going to be what? It's going to be 1/4 of your normal transition. Because, you know, a triple is one. Well, let me think about this. No, it's not going to be 1/4 because there's more lines. So you can get, how many triples can you get out of, yeah, exactly. So how many triples can you get out of 130 lines? 30 goes to 128. 4. How many? Somebody tell me what it is. So like 40 triples plus 2, let's say. So 42 triples times 7,500 points. So a perfect transition would be like, you know, 320 something. Wait, triples are exactly 1/3 of the scoring potential of Tetris. Oh, when you take into account the actual score you get them, plus that it's, you know, 3/4 of the lines. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, now that makes sense. They're 1/4. Okay, that makes sense. A perfect transition is 250 from an 18 start? Wait, is that right? But wait, though, can't you get... You can get 40... Let me do the math, all right? So let's just even out the triples, right? 42... Right. Okay. So you're taking that 1/3, right? So I can get 42 triples times 7,500 points, right? No, it's not 7,500. What am I thinking? It's not 7,500 points. Duh. That was my problem. Yeah, it's 5,700 points. Okay. I just need to walk through it with my own mind. So yeah, so like 240, 250. Yeah, you guys are right. Okay, that makes sense. So I just needed to see it with my own mind. I can't just go someone tell me something and I just accept it. I have to like walk through it. 44 triples if done perfectly. Oh yeah, that's true. And then that last one is worth slightly more. 161 for Jerpi through 65, 152 for Cobra. All right, 174 Jerpi, 166 Cobra. Tetris Jerpi 200, 179 Cobra. And they are even in lines, actually. So this is kind of different than the previous matches. Dirty Tetris Cobra left well 4 rows up, and he's got a perfect Tetris well hidden below that. You like to see that? 200 Jerpi, 204 Cobra. All right, there's a bar for both. So good paces for both as we head toward level 10. There's a Tetris Jerpi Cobra waiting. He's not taking the triple. And that's not going to preserve any burns for Cobra. Doesn't matter because he gets the bar into level 10, so he's in at about 229, something like that. Jerpi, 2 lines away. There's a Tetris, 240. So Jerpi with the higher transition score into 10. All right, Cobra's board a little bit high here, so he's having to sell a bit. He takes a burn. And the bar over Tetris Cobra at 264. Jerpi open, takes a burn, 243. Tetris Jerpi, 257. Jerpi, this is kind of unfamiliar because Jerpi back by 9 lines. She's been the one that's been ahead. In lines, like nearly the entire match. Okay, Jerpi uncovers the right side. Cobra waiting on a bar. Jerpi takes a triple. Triple is good points, you know? Triple, not bad. And there is a Tetris Jerpi. Again, you can see her cheating all the pieces over to the left. Long bar comes and she rings it, rests it back over to the right. Cobra taking the double, 290. Jerpi getting set up again. Long bar immediate. Tetris 295. Level 12. Cobra into 13. There's a Tetris. He's into 14 now. Jerpi 12 lines back. This is all going to come to an end very quickly. Cobra's board a little bit messed up here. Nice delayed burn with that long bar. So board clean now. He's going to try to keep it clean. Jerpi is set up for a Tetris at 303 and gets it. Tetris is on 14, worth 18,000 flat. Cobra 15, so 7 lines away from level 16, and that is the same speed as level 18. And Tetris, Cobra 338, 339 Jerpi. We're going to the wire. But Jerpi with lines in hand. Cobra with a skim and a Tetris 359. He's into 16 speed. So now we started this match at 30 miles an hour, and now we're going 60 miles an hour. It says 18 speed or 16 speed, twice as fast as level 9 speed. All right, Cobra needs to uncover. He does uncover. That's not going to be good for a Tetris, but it's good for a triple. 368. Jerpi now in the lead. 381 at 15. She's 1 line away from that 16 speed increase. She's got a good low board. Cobra's board clean, but not ready yet. He's ready in column 9 and gets a bar. 392. Cobra in the lead. Jerpi going to take it back. 401. Jerpi now into level 16. Cobra's board clean. Jerpi has got gaps. She's going to uncover those gaps. Going to try to establish a Tetris. Well, Tetris for Cobra, 415. Jerpi, 406. Trying to skim here. Oh, a nice, okay, good piece to get Tetris ready. Can't use the bar, can't see it fast enough. Cobra going to top out at 416. So if Jerpi can get this over, that would be, oh, and Jerpi gets it over, and Jerpi gets a Tetris right at the end there. And Jerpi will seal it and will be moving on to the top 8. So a clutch Tetris on the right side. She had to pull back some pieces to keep that well open, and she got it. And Jerpi, 435. It's not too far off from her well, at least her old world record. I don't know what her current PB is, but GG's Cobra. I mean, you did amazing there at the end with 400 Ks. And that is tough to get 400 Ks in this mode and still not win the match. So Cobra, you did amazing. Jerpi did just that much better, and Jerpi will be moving on to the top 8. So, whew, 3 400s and 2 of them were losing scores. I mean, what the heck? Anyway, GG Cobra. I hope you had fun. I know it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, but I hope you had a good time. All right, Jerpi, you got, yeah, of course you got to take a break. No worries. Take a break. We come back in, what, three minutes, something like that. All right, let me go ahead and set up these matches. I'll report this. Ay, ay, ay. What a match. What a clutch Tetris at the end. That is crazy. I mean, I love this mode. I love this tournament. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I really do. All right, so yeah, we'll be generous with the break here. I got nowhere really to go, so let me set up the next match. We'll run some ads. Where are the ads? There's an ad. There's an ad. And then we'll, let's see, goodbye. So we need to say goodbye, Cobra, on the right side. Goodbye, Cobra. Hello, Jerpi. And then we need to say goodbye, Jerpi. Hello, Andy. And then we'll fix the cams up. Let's see. Can I... Yeah, copy... Oh, it won't let me copy transform. I don't get that. Why it doesn't let me do that? That's so weird. All right, you're watching the jank. Do watching jank. All right. Phew. Why not leave Jerpi on the left? Because it's not how we do things. We put the higher seeded player on the left. We put the lower seeded player on the right. That's just how I do it. Either way, a player would have had to have moved because I would have had to put Andy on the right side if I kept Jerpi there and move Andy's things around. So it really doesn't, it wouldn't have saved any time. I would have just had to mess with Andy. And honestly, if I've got Andy in a perfect stencil on one side of the screen, I'm leaving it there. By the way, thanks Beta Strap for the 3 viewers raid. That was a bit ago. Thank you, Beta Strap. Appreciate that. All right, I'll be back in a moment. These players taking much needed, much deserved break. And we'll leave this, well, we'll put this on. Be right back. What happens if 2 people have the same qual score? Whoever submits their qual earliest is the gets the advantage. They'll be seated up one higher. All right. Well, looks like Jerpi is ready after a break, and Pixelandy had a really long break. So, Pixelandy, if you are in a position to let's begin this match. That would be nice, so we can get the show on the road. Let me refresh both of the streams, make sure we're caught up. All right, Jerpi doing a secret grade. This will be one of our modes. It may only be a 16-player tournament. I don't know, but I don't know if there's enough people that can do this kind of thing, or we're doing a best of 3. I think we'd have to do a best of 3 because it takes a while. Do you think we can lure Kirby 703 back? Your brain will never comprehend this mode. Well, I mean, that's the whole point of it, right? Stretch your brain. I mean, imagine if you did comprehend it. Yeah, the turnaround is where, like, I can do the, you know, for that, but the turnaround is like the toughest part. That's where my brain goes. All right, good. All right, S. We need an S or a T. T works. You learned no next box to play in STM. I learned secret grade for fun. All right. Well, as soon as Jerpi has gotten this secret grade out of her brain, she's getting really close. This is getting really close. We'll see how far she can get. This is very impressive, says 3s 2s. Do you guys not know secret grade? Is this only for like old people? Easy. Get this out of her system, and then we'll begin. This might only be for old people, Jerps. The kids today, they don't know. They don't know from secret grade. Oh, it's the I think you needed that S for that next block. Oh my god, I'm dying. All right, we're so close. Tony Day says, I know this from Modern Tetris, so I don't know what Vandy's on about. Excuse me. Well, not everybody plays that Modern Tetris. All right, so what is that? What are they? All right. Good job, Jerps. You've introduced everyone to secret grade. That will be a mode coming up. Not next month, but it will be a mode. That'll be a best of 3, guys. Don't worry. All right, looks like we got 2 players who are ready. Pixel Andy versus Jerpi. It is the top 8. The winner will go to the semifinals. So let us get them started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. You want a best of 99 secret grade? Oh my God. Forget it. All right, both players are underway, starting with a long bar, but that is where their stacks and their piece distribution will diverge. This is Stupid Tetris Monthly, no next box, July 2025. The winner of this entire tournament will rightfully be called the No Next Box World Champion for 2025. And the winner of this match will make it to the semifinals to have a shot to compete for that title and to compete for, pretty good sized prize pool. $1,132 split across the top 8 for this. On the left side of your screen, it is Pixel Andy. Pixel Andy, a 6-time, is it 6? Yeah, it's a 5-time Masters event winner. He's a reigning Masters champion. He won his first Masters in almost 2 years last month. That's his 5th one. He's also a 6-time DAS Masters winner. He was the runner-up in CTWC in 2020. He's been in the gold bracket of CTWC 6 times. 4th in the Jonas Cup last year. First player to get a $2 million in a competitive Tetris match with a 39 cap. Former score world record holder, 8.9 million. And he's only one of 3 people to have a 1.3 with 3 different play styles, right? DAS, tap, and roll. Andy has got a 1.3. The only other 2 players, I'll let you in chat guess them. But there's 3 trifecta players. So that is Pixel Andy, qualified in with a 484 into this tournament. One of those scores was a 500K, which is a very, very top score in this mode. 61,000 here for Andy, 45,000 for Pixel Andy. Andy got a 2-round bye, automatic entry into the top 16 in virtue of his high qualifier, top 8. And Andy defeated Ghost in the round of 16 to get here to the top 8. On the right side, it is Jerpi. Jerpi is the former score world record holder in this category, held that record for 4 years. That was only just broken this month in the run-up to this tournament. That was by Dog Playing Tetris. There's an unofficial world record floating out there, undocumented, a 6'11 from Gerald Freeman, who is also in this tournament, but no vid, no did. Jerpi with a 424. That was the average of her best 2 games played in the 1 hour. She also got a 2-round bye. So starting off here in the top 16, fended off Cobra to make it here to this top 8. She's got an overall PB of 1.488. And I guess Jerpi still has the tapping world record for this mode with 550. Jerpi has been in Mega Masters 3 times. And in the second installment of our Stupid Tetris Championship in 2021, Jerpi was in the semifinals. Actually, Andy was in the semifinals of the event the year before. So 2 former semifinalists in the Stupid Tetris Championship. Jerpi has been in CTWC Gold 6 times. From 2020 to this year. And also is the winner, who can forget this, of Classic Tetris Brawl in September 2021. 134 for Pixel Andy, 101 for Jerpi. RXS says, Pixel Andy wearing a lot of Pixel Andy merch today. All right, I don't know where to get Pixel Andy merch, but I'm sure if you go to his channel, you can find out. 147 for Pixel Andy. Jerpi, 126. Jerpi took that match off of Cobra in a thrilling decider, came right down to just the final moments where she eked out a Tetris to seal the victory. 138 for Jerpi, 147 for Pixelandy. Now, this is a best of 5, so the first player to 3 wins is the winner of the match and moves on to the semifinals. And again, this is a no next box tournament. We start on level 9. If you've been watching this tournament, you can see why we start on level 9. The play gets very difficult with no next box as you increase the speed. Level 10 is the first transition speed increase. Tetris for Pixelandy, 185. There's one Jerpi. Jerpi has got some push down points. Pixelandy, I don't think is pushing down. He's 6 lines back. All right, Jerpi's board. She's got burns here, and yeah, she's able to wait out a long bar and gets the bar, gets the Tetris 164. So Andy with the lead in score and has some lines in hand, so advantage Andy right now. All right, this hypnotic music, level 9, it's kind of put me in a trance. $222 for Andy through 86, still no, I guess 13 lines now until level 10. So this is big pacing for Andy. Anything that's over 200 is a pretty reasonable pace in this tournament. And 220, 230, 240 especially. So far, that has been an elite level transition score at level 10. Arctic XC, thank you for that information in the chat. Appreciate that. Tetris Jerpi, she's on level 10 now, 196. Tetris is on level 9, worth 12,000. 10, they're worth 13,200. They go up 1,200 points every level increase. So when the color changes, the level increases and the speed increases and the scoring increases. Tetris for Andy, he is into level 10 at 250,000 on the nose. So that's a good lead, and he's, 12, 16 lines behind as well. So if this goes all the way to level 19, Jerpi's going to have to find a way to make up those points. Andy's still motoring along, 276. Tetris Jerpi, 257. Both players good boards. Andy's still on 10. And the next speed increase, level 13. Jerpi 5 lines away from that. Tetris Andy, 305. 275 Jerpi now on 13. All right, Jerpi would love a bar here or just something to take a burn. There is a bar. That's not going to burn anything, but it'll get some much needed material in the middle of that board. And Jerpi here kind of in a scramble, just not even, I wouldn't say a scramble, but really just desperate for something to bring this stack down. That's a perfect tee for the left side. That's a great Z-piece for the middle. And she's kind of just going all in on an L piece or something. Now on a bar. This is pretty tough for Jerpi. She had an incredible down stack in her previous match against Cobra. Worth watching if you missed it. 286 Jerpi, board climbing. Great J. 288 for her, 354 for Pixel Andy. So she's just really trying to survive here. That S stood up. That is going to be it for Jerpi. And Jerpi is going to top out. Pixel Andy is good in game number 1. Yeah, this is a pace for Andy. I don't know if you want to chase pace games in this tournament or you just want to get it over with. It's up to you. You should mullen. Gerald says you should mullen. Gerald says you should mullen. So take that for what it's worth. But maybe that breaking down a little bit here needs a couple of bars. There's one bar. There's another bar, so he's got a good board now again. 408 on 14. Board kind of high, though. He's going to be forced to try to take burns here. No, that's kind of slow his pace down quite a bit. Oh, that's probably going to be a top for Andy. So 409, though. Yeah, I'm assuming these players don't mind if someone is on world record pace if they mullen it. I'm assuming neither one of you are against that. Okay, looks like both players are ready. Pixel Andy, Jerpi, game number 2. Pixel Andy up 1-0 in this best of 5. Pixel Andy says, to be fair, I just watched Jerpi mullen a secret grade warm-up game. Yeah, true. True. All right, we are underway in game number 2. Now, in virtue of our hitting our prize pool goal, both of these players are in the money. So no matter what happens here, each of them will get a share of the prize pool. Of course, it ratchets up considerably as you ladder up. Tetris for Andy, 13,013 for Jerpi. Where did the term mullen come from? So in a CTWC, it was probably like 2017, 2016, something like that. Ben Mullen, who was a prominent player sort of during the veterans era of competitive Tetris. Nobody maxed out in competition back then. Like, it just never happened. And Ben Mullen was playing, and he was on a max out pace, right? A pace that if he kept playing would have resulted in a max out, but his opponent topped out. But the commentators egged him on to continue to play, even though his opponent had topped out. And at that time, that was considered to be bad etiquette. And in some cases, it's still kind of considered to be that if it's, kind of an insignificant thing. But he was encouraged to do that by the commentators. And I think Harry Hong was the first person to start saying the phrase going the full Ben Mullen. And I believe I might have been the first person to just to change it to a verb, mullening. So Yeah, named after the player who was sort of famous for an incident of doing that. $74,000 for Pixelandy, $67,000 for Jerpi. Yeah, Ben would have stopped, but the commentator told him to keep going. It became the Mullen rather than the Bidwell. Bidwelling, right? Yeah, imagine if it were called Bidwelling. I'm kind of glad that it's called the Mullen, because it kind of sounds like mulligan in golf, right? Yeah, it doesn't have the same ring. You're right, Boomtack. Tetris for Jerpi, 81,000, 98,000 for Bidwell. And yeah, just the cap off the story. Ben did not max that game, no. The first competitive max out happened in CTM. It was Corian, I think, was it versus Yanni? And then the first CTWC max out happened, and it was who was the first? Was it Joseph or was it Green Tea? Who got the first? I forget who got the first CTWC max out. It was Joseph, yeah. A player who was in chat. Joseph, Green Tea, same game, right? 113. So yeah, Corian was the first one to get it in comp, but it was online. First person to get it live, Joseph and Green Tea. $125 for Pixelandy, $118 for Jerpi. Other than the Jonas Harry Trey's garage match. Oh, that's interesting point. Yeah, I don't know. I think those are kind of friendlies. I mean, I don't know. Do they count for ELO? Maybe we have to rewrite the whole history, but in a tournament match with like money on the line, or maybe there wasn't money on the line, but in the Corian one, but there was a title that people cared about. Oh, very interesting discussion now. Now we have to recast history in a whole different mold. All right, 143 for Pixelandy, 145 for Jerpi. Tetris Pixelandy 155. There's one Jerpi 158. All right, Jerpi 10 lines apart, and you can see Jerpi with some push down points. Tetris for Pixelandy 181, 194 for Jerpi. So pretty neck and neck, 1,000 points apart, 2 lines apart. All right, Tetris Jerpi 206. Yeah, she's going to have to cut this board down, just kind of too high-centered. There's a good J for the left side for Jerpi. Oh, a nice flat piece there, 3 wide to get Tetris ready again. Tetris Jerpi 221, 206 for Pixel Andy. Jerpi on level 10, good transition. There's another Tetris Jerpi 234. All right, good long bar for Andy after creating a little dependency. And there's a Tetris for Andy into 10 at 232. So Andy with the advantage at the level 10 transition. All right, Jerpi with a good square there to get that skim. Now needs to rebuild. Wants a Z. Now can handle a T. All right, well, there we go. Figured it out. Tetris Andy 259, 250 Jerpi, long bar Tetris 264 now Jerpi. All right, very calm stacking here from both of these players. Andy especially. Tetris there, Jerpi. Another Tetris, Andy 290. So they're kind of swapping the lead back and forth. And Jerpi just a handful of lines ahead. Level 13 is looming. That will be another speed increase. Oh, Jerpi, yeah, getting a couple of bars here. Can't use them for the Tetris. Gets another one and can use it for the Tetris. So into 13, Jerpi at 300. And this is where the difficulty level ratchets up considerably. Level 13, 25% faster than the previous level. Cumulatively, from 9 to 18, the speed basically doubles. I mean, it does double, right? Tetris for Andy into 13 at 339. Jerpi kind of selling out a little bit here and has to guess in those bars. Yeah, just can't get over. And no, that's going to be a top for Jerpi at 304. Pixel Andy is good in game number 2. Emily is useless is here. Thank goodness. We were wondering. Boomtac, RXS, Pseudo Canard, Winter, Hannah, Barrett, Threes Twos, Ryan. Thanks for hanging out in chat. R75 Joe. All right, there's Tetris Pixel Andy. So Andy is like 150, 160,000 off the record here. Tetris is worth 19,200. So this is, you know, recordable. I think this is world recordable. There's a Tetris Andy 439 record. It's unlikely. Yes, it is. 558 is the recorded record. Gerald's got the unofficial 611 unrecorded. There's a Tetris Andy 459. He's got a 500 score in his qualifier. And yeah, he's probably not going to get it from here. I mean, this is tough. So he's got, you know, basically 20 lines until 19. He would have to get 4 Tetrises here. He's set up for 1. Oh, no, and he hangs the bar. What the heck? He can't rotate the bar. Dog is safe. All right, players, when you're ready, we can go ahead and start. The rule is, though, if you mullen, that's your rest, so you don't get to mullen and rest. Mullen is your break. All right, both players are ready. Game number 3. Oh wait, no, Jerpi went off. Oh, sorry. Wait, we can. Are we starting? I'm sorry, you went unready. Are you ready? All right, we'll start. We're starting. We are really starting. Sorry, you went unready just as I hit the countdown, Jerps. If it's an emergency and you really needed to stop, then you can nod your head very aggressively. But yeah, my apologies. Bad timing. Okay, we are underway. Game 3. Jerpi needs to win this one to stay in the tournament, have a shot at top 4 and beyond. Okay, Jerpi's board kind of a mess right here, so this is going to be really tough. She has downstacked from worse. A bar would be very helpful, really, anywhere along this sequence. I mean, this is great reaction time from Jerpi. She's going to uncover that right side. There is a Tetris buried there, but more importantly, just bringing this stack back down a few rows. And she is keyed in to when this bar shows up. Okay, there's a triple. That's going to take some pressure off, but still experiencing a drought. And there's the bar and the survival for Jerpi. What a survival for Jerpi. What the heck? I mean, the concentration keyed in on when that bar comes in, trying to get that thing moved as early as possible. And she did it. So another heck of a survival episode there for Jerpi, who's this is like second or third one in just this broadcast. All right, not out of the woods yet here. The center well can be tricky, but long bar in Tetris, Jerpi. $56,000, Jerpi, 98 for Pixelandy. All right, Jerpi is open and would love a bar. The spin will keep that well open. And I'm experiencing another bit of, okay, there we go. Long bar, Tetris, Jerpi. She'll gladly take that L for the left side just to neaten up this board, bring it down. Adam Verba says, especially with no next box, any drought feels 10 times longer. I mean, that's definitely a factor in this tournament as well. You've got to realize that you're getting different RG from your opponents. That does imply that you should, you know, your default mode should be slightly more conservative. Hana says maybe we do need SPS. Yeah, I don't think so. There's another Tetris Jerpi, 84,000 Jerpi. If we do it live, we can do it. But online, I don't. And we just have to hide the screens from each other, right? We gotta hide the. They cannot screen look. I don't know. I think it would be fun to do a screen looking one, but it wouldn't be pure known Xbox because I think players could look at each other's boards. That was a 49-piece drought. Holy moly. Wouldn't a stream delay make it impossible? Well, they can look at the players. I mean, the players would have to be stream delaying as well. And then they'd be delayed and I'd be delayed. And it would take forever. Have a bunch of different seeds that are similar RNG. Yeah, I can see that. I don't hate that as a compromise. But that's something people talk about, but I haven't seen it done yet. You know, oh, we could do a thing where we've got piece distributions that are similar but timed differently. You know, I haven't seen anyone do that yet, though. $137 for Jerpi. But right now, they are 1 bar apart. Now, Jerpi is a little bit further ahead, you know, line-wise, but it's not like orders of magnitude different. It's just the distribution of them. Right? $195 Andy, $165 Jerpi, who's into level 10. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day. $197 Andy, $178 for Jerpi, and that's how you know that these streams are about as long as Masters streams, because we're getting to the say the line, and it's in the, you know, the latter half of the third match, right? Which is where Masters it hits. So this is about as long as a Masters stream. Jerpi at 208, Andy at 211. All right, Tetris Andy 242, 211 Jerpi. Jerpi up pretty high. Long bar gets over. Quick reaction from Jerpi. There's another one. We can see why she's so good at this mode, that reaction time. She's into level 13 now at 244. Andy still 115 lines, so 15 lines back. 242 gets a Tetris. The S flat Jerpi. Oh, some nice pieces. Good RNG for Jerpi for once. Okay, set up again. And Tetris Jerpi 281, ahead by 16 lines, back by 7,000 points. Jerpi on 53 bars, Andy with 49. And Jerpi ahead by, so she's lagging bars a little bit, just pace-wise. But it's not, it's just the bunching of the bars, I think that is the real issue. .303 Jerpi, 310 Andy with the S flat. Opens it up. Jerpi with a bar gets it over 323. Oh, Andy's right side is going to be a top out, and Jerpi is good. So Andy got too high on the right side. Jerpi has taken game number 3. And if you want to play it out till 19, feel free. Give the people a taste of what you can do, or you can stop. It's up to you. I mean, it's a great board here on 16. I mean, she's so good. Oh, gets the bar over. What the heck? So the survival for Jerpi, really critical. It counted because she ended up winning that game. When you have this great survival bout, you don't end up winning. It's kind of like, all right, it was great in the moment, but no, that was critical for Jerpi. So Jerpi will get a point and continue on. I'm sure she's thrilled to have to keep playing No Next Box. All right, looks like both players are ready. Game number 4, Pixel Andy and Jerpi. Jerpi needs to win to force a deciding game number 5. The number 2 seed versus the former score world record holder. All right, we are underway in game number 4. Andy gets his first Tetris down. Tetris Jerpi. Andy is setting up for a dirty Tetris in the middle, but has to plug it up. Does not get the piece. Oh, he's kind of... Yeah, this is pretty tough. All right, he's knocking it down. He's opened up. This is just going to be a triple if he gets a piece in there. Yeah, this is a tough board. He's not going to go for the T-spin, just going to use that T sideways. So Andy in a bit of a dig. Oh no, that left side for Andy is not going to allow him to continue. Andy tops out, and that is a quick game number 4. Jerpi is going to take it, and we're headed to a decider. All right, both players have signaled ready already. It's a big decider between Pixel Andy and Jerpi. The winner of this one single solitary stupid game will be moving on to the semifinals of this year's STM Known Xbox Championship in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. And at one point, Jerpi was down 2 games to none, and it is now 2 to 2. So Jerpi trying to complete the reverse sweep. Pixel Andy trying to forestall a disaster here and avoid getting reverse swept. Wants to move on to that semifinal. He's the reigning DAS Masters winner, the reigning Masters winner. Would love to hold 3 titles, 3 CTM titles simultaneously. But he's got the former world record holder to contend with. Both of these players have been in the semifinals of our old school Stupid Tetris Championships. That's when it was 1 a year and it was multi-mode. But we're going to do another one. We're going to do a September. Qualifying for that will open soon. We got it narrowed down to a couple modes that we're going to do. It'll be a fast mode, I promise. Or at least, you know, an 18 or 19 start mode. Not a level 9 start mode. Can't do 2 slow modes in a row. All right, 29,000 for Pixel Andy, 61,000 for Jerpi. You want to do a Vits off? Yeah, the problem with the Vits off is you either have to have a ROM hack to do it, or you have to count. And we have done an impromptu Vits off on Deathmatch, I think, during the celebration stream, I think, the 10K follower celebration. And it's hard to count just as a commentator, so you need the audience to do it. And the audience, they get lazy. So we do have a ROM hack that counts Vitses. Hydrant Dude made that. And that's all it counts. It doesn't count any score. It just counts Vitses completed. But you'd have to have you have to have Game Genie or play an emulator. Not Game Genie. You'd have to have EverDrive. So Andy right now with a crazy board right now with that overhang, having to kind of implement some diving board strats here. But bringing it down. Tetris Jerpi 113. Andy going to open up that well for a triple, and yeah, he's just going to take that triple. Not going to be over aggro. It's still early. He may set up. Yeah, no, he's going to take the triple again. Triple is good points. It's not a Tetris, but it is points. Tetris Jerpi 126 through 51, 78,000 for Pixel Andy through 51. So Jerpi with about a 50,000 point lead or so. Andy gets one. Oh, LOZ Cards fan says that was a 50-piece drought in Game 3, not 49. Well, we will forgive you. LOZ, are you still doing You still doing stuff on like speed gaming and all that stuff? Or what is it? Zelda speedruns? Where were you doing stuff? I forget. One of those channels commentating speedrun competitions. 141 for Jerpi, 114 for Pixelandy. You're still doing video game commentaries. Well, if you have anything coming up soon, feel free to plug it in the chat. There's a dirty triple. Andy, is that a triple? 119 for him, 153 Jerpi. Tetris Jerpi. 165, 119 Andy. There's another one, Jerpi. Jerpi with a good lead. 57,000 points. Tetris Andy. And another one for both. Here's a reminder, if you are an Amazon Prime member, did you know you get an Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime Gaming subscription every single month to grant to the streamer of your choice? And, you know, it's every month that you get it, but it is use it or lose it. So do not lose it. Use it for somebody. And once in a while, make it us. Doesn't have to be every time. I mean, I won't I won't be sad if you use it for us every time, but if you want to use it for us sometimes and other times, that's fine. But use it or lose it. Don't let it expire. It goes right back into Bezos's pocket. I know it. He's going to send more pop stars to space if you don't use your Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime Gaming sub. You know, quote, space. 216 for Jerpi. Now, if he would leave them there, then I could get behind it. 216 for Jerpi, 170 for Pixelandy. Tetris Andy, 183, 217 for Jerpi. Andy 2 lines away from level 10. A long bar to the left looks pretty good for Andy. Jerpi's board getting up kind of high. Andy is in to level 10. And he's trying to chop this board down a little bit. Jerpi, 1 line to go to level 10. She's in. It gets an immediate long bar for a Tetris. That's going to take some pressure off her stack, get her some points. She's at 233. Andy at 186. Jerpi spiring a little bit, though. Going to uncover the right. Going to delayed burn there for the T. That will uncover the right again, but that spire makes it so difficult to operate. She uncovers again. She's just trying to get a well-timed bar. Bars so far coming when she just can't use them. Andy with a great triple to bring this down, 195. Jerpi still digging, still fighting. Long bar gets over Tetris Jerpi, 252. They're both on level 11. Andy starting to high center a bit, and this is forcing him to gamble a little bit. You know, cheat left or right. But all right, he's bringing it down. All right, he's got a decent board here. No burns, but at least low and flat. There's a Tetris for Andy, 216. Jerpi, 255. Level 13 is looming. There's a Tetris for Andy. He is into level 13. The speed has increased 25%. It'll be 3 levels of this. It'll be level 16 at 160 lines. Jerpi, 256. Andy, 233. Long bar over Tetris. Andy, 250. Jerpi has got to find a way to uncover that right. Oh, that left side is now line dependent, and she gets the long bar over. Oh, and a great J piece. So she's fighting this down again. Jerpi, just amazing digs in her matches. And a bar. She finds a bar. Andy's board starting to complicate, and he is behind. He is back by 12,000 points, and Andy, I don't think he's going to survive. And no, that is going to do it for Andy. He is going to top out, and Jerpi is going to fight her way back from 2 games down and take this match in a decider against Andy. Jerpi will be moving on to the semifinals. What a match between these two. What a comeback from Jerpi. There were several times during her runs that I thought, oh, she's done. She's cooked. This is it. But no, she has survived. She's going to take a little bit of a victory lap here. GG's for you, to you, Andy. You made it into the money, which is good, but I'm sure you wanted to go further. So GG's to you, Pixel Andy. Wow. Tapper's putting up strong performance in this tourney. We'll watch Jerpi finish this out. There's a Tetris 332. Not going to get any world record off of this, but it's fun to just see what top players can do on 18 speed and then watch them die piteously on 19 pathetically. Just on 19, I can't do anything. No, Jerpi not rolling. Jerpi tapping. Jerpi not using her famous grip. And Jerpi, who, oh my goodness. 56-piece drought for you there? Oh, Andy. Yikes. That is just rough. I mean, Jerpi also experienced long droughts as well, you know, so they go both ways. That's it. Blame the tournament. All right, well, Jerpi, you are the winner of dinner. Congratulations, Jerpi. You have made it into the semi-finals of this tournament, and you get a tiny green virtual trophy to screenshot and look at. All right, congratulations to you, Jerpi. Let's go ahead and report the results of this match to the authorities of Tetris. We'll take a look at our bracket, and then, yeah, all right, reported. Yes, I'm sure this is correct. Jerpi is moving on. Former world record holder will be making it in. So let's take a look at our bracket. Where's our bracket? Let me refresh the bracket. Ba 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 ba. There it is. So Jerpi will be taking on Dylan. Tappers, right? Players, I mean, Jerpi seems to have been tapping during that whole thing. Dylan, obviously a tapper. Both getting past the rollers in this turn. So finally, we found something that tappers are better at. It is no next box. 2021 bracket, says Hana. Yeah, Jerpi, Dylan, Dog. So who is the next one? When is the next stupid Tetris happening? Well, it is happening tomorrow. Let's take a look at our schedule. The final top 4 player will be determined tomorrow at 6 p.m. U.S. Central Time. That's 23 UTC. That's late for Europe, I know, but you know, that's what we got. So that will be taking place. That'll be Scooty versus Shadow. Winner takes on Gerald. That should be kind of a banger, low key, no cap, on God, for real. And then what is also going to be a banger, on God, no cap, for real. whatever, is going to be the green and teal top 16 of Tap Masters. It's going to happen after that. That's at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time, 1:30 UTC. Again, not great for Europe, but oh well. It's going to be Joseph Saley versus Oscar versus Dylan versus Klein. Cat, it's happening. I'm not going to tell people to play a tournament that's not happening over and over and over for months. It is actually going to be happening. There's not a meme. It's going to happen on that day or not. It's like you don't have a lot of time to prepare for it, everybody. So you have got to, I mean, I would lie to you, but not about that. It's happening. It's been on the schedule for months and months. I've made sure to keep it on there. We're going to do it. All right. You want to do a Bears Deathmatch? We're going to do a series of Bears Deathmatches. I'm going to put them on the schedule. We're going to do it. Can someone explain what Bears is? Yeah. Go to Speedrun. Hold on. I'll give you the link. Speedrun.com. Extreme. This is the game that we're doing a tournament about. Here's the game. All right. This is the game that we're doing a tournament about. All right. There's where to start. Okay. You can watch all the runs. Look at the full game runs, right? Look at full game runs. That is basically what we're doing. That we did it back in 2021. I don't think the old one is online, but I'll put it online. Maybe I'll run it as a premiere so people can get familiar with what it is. I'm going to do it as a premiere on the channel and put it online. But we did it back in 2021. ESWT BBWC. All right, but that is the game. So go there, join the community, comment, find a way to play this game, start getting good at it. That's all you can do. All right. Thanks to everybody who did what? Contributed to the channel. So Twitch subs, Sonic, T.O., Real Bland, raids from Paldas and Dobry, and Beta Strep. Thank you for your support over on Twitch. YouTube. Thanks for nothing. No, there, you're fine. Thank you, YouTube, for hanging out. Appreciate that. Jungle Cook, Sven, Babber, Branches, Hedgehog, Dirt Block, Luis, Josh, Mr. Brain. All the stars are here. Thanks for hanging out. And I will end the thing. See you to, oh wait, well, also thanks Patreon. Thanks for everybody on the screen for supporting the channel, keeping it going. Couldn't do it without you. I'm not just saying that. That's not just words. That is actually literally true. So thank you, patrons. Everyone on the screen, especially Scott Gray, J, Nuendo, K9, Tacky, Corporal, Shelby, Troy, Dan, Kim, M, Rogue, Potato, Cacket, Mila, Jason. Thank you for your help. And prize pool, didn't have any additional prize pool contributions today, but it's already a good amount. If you do want to contribute, go to go.ctm.gg/prize, and you can contribute to the prize pool. We will see you tomorrow, YouTube. Have a great day. Love you. Kinda. All right. Bye. All right, thanks, LOZ. Appreciate that. Hana, T.O., Titan, Tolstoy, Jerpi, congrats again. Pseudo Canard, Threes, Twos, Cat, and Chero, Fireworks. Frisco Steve, Naraya, Adam Meep, RXS, Rory. Oh my God, Rory, did you win futures? Jordova, Legends Break, Dog playing Tetris, Joe, Ned B, Lighthouse, Emily, Max Plus, Halketa, Corey Fenn, everybody over here. All right, congratulations. Thank you. Love you. Sincerely. Have a great day. We're going to raid you to someone else. I don't know who that's going to be, but it's going to be gonna be. I don't know. I don't know who it's gonna be. And I'm hearing myself, and I don't like that. Chroma? I guess we can raid Chroma. Okay, raid CHROMA underscore 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 underscore. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow. Can't wait.